Hello everyone. So today we are doing a IGCSE chemistry paper, winter 2014, paper 11. So this is a multiple choices question paper. So question one, so which is an example of a diffusion. So the answer for this is D, because the food molecules from food they diffuse into air, so that's why you can smell the cooking. So number two, we have a setup here. So this setup is used to filter solid from a solution. So which combination gives us a solid plus a solution? So that would be A. So it's copper chloride is a solution, copper is a solid. So number three. So ethanol is obtained from fractional distillation. So the answer is D. Number four. So what is the difference for isotopes? So isotope is an element which have the same atomic number. So which means it has the same proton number, but different mass number. So different mass number. And we know that the mass number is equal to proton number plus neutron number. So the proton number of the isotopes are the same. So the only difference is a neutron number. So right, so the only difference is a neutron number. So neutron neutron number plus proton number gives you the mass number is also called nuclear number. Yeah, so the difference in nuclear number will give you a different mass number, and it will give you a different isotope of the same element. But however, they have the same proton number, so the difference is in nuclear number. Right, number five. So what element? As I've said, so the element is determined by the proton number, and in a neutral atom, the proton number is the same as the number of electrons. So if we count the electrons, we have 15 electrons in total. So the proton number will also be 15. So proton number equals 15. So which element has a proton number of 15? That would be B, phosphorus. Okay, so next question. So they are split into thin sheets. So which one looks like a structure of thin sheets? That would be number A. So number A is it consists of sheets of items, and the interaction that's holding the sheets together is a van der Waals forces. So that would be A. And number 7. So which statement is not correct? So that would be C, because same charge, they repulse each other. So yeah, so like charge repulse each other and opposite charge attract each other. So number 8. So this one has a formula SCCl, and that has a formula of RBBr. So if you do the calculation, if you look at your periodic table and you do the calculation, the mass, the relative formula mass of that would be 133 plus 35.5, which is 168.5. This one is 85.5 plus 79.9 equal to 165.4. So they are different. So they have a different they have different relative formula mass. So that would be this and that. And furthermore, the bonding in CSCl is ionic, so the choice is C. So question 9, how many atoms of hydrogen, right? So you have 5 here, 1 here, so 1 plus 5 is 6. That will give you D as the right answer. So number 10, yeah, so if you look up the periodic table, you can find the mass. The mass number for iron is 55.8 and for oxygen is 16. And the mass of the relative formula mass of that is then 5.8 times 2 plus 16 times 3, which is approximately equal to 160, right? So the right answer is D. Number 11, so it should be sodium because it reacts with water, so it can't be used in an aqueous solution because aqueous solution has water, so sodium would react. Number 12, so you got so as we've said, opposite charge attracts each other. So to have a ion that's matching the cathode, we need a positive ion, and for the anode, we need a negative ion. So for the electrolysis of the sodium chloride, the anode, you will produce the chlorine gas because the negative chloride ion goes to the positive anode, and at the cathode side, you'll produce sodium because the positively charged sodium will go to the cathode. So that would be C. So question 13. So which statements are correct? So 1 and 3 are the correct statements because exothermic reaction heat is given out, and burning methane is exothermic reaction because when you are burning the methane, heat is given out. However, for statement 2 is not correct because in an endothermic reaction, the heat taken in is converted to chemical potential energy. So the chemical potential energy does not contribute to a rise of the temperature. So statement 2 is not right. Number 14. So we are looking for a substance that can be used as gases, fuels. So the right answer would be C, because carbon dioxide and uranium, they don't burn in oxygen. Hydrogen and methane, they will. So the right answer is C. Number 15. Right, so number 15, so B is not right because generally a higher concentration will lead to a higher rate of reaction because you've got more particles. So you have a higher rate of collisions between the particles that will increase the rate of the reaction instead of decreasing it. So number 16, so we are going from a anhydrous salt to a hydrated salt. So going from anhydrous to hydrated, you are adding water into the salt, but it does not require heat because you're just adding water into the salt. So that the answer would be B. Right, so number 17. Right, so we have P and Q here. So the oxidation number of P is originally is 0, and when it reacts with oxygen, it takes oxygen into the formula, because the oxidation number of oxygen is -2. To give you an overall of 0 oxidation number, you need, so the oxidation number of that changes from 0 to +2. So that is an increase in oxidation number, so this is oxidized. But for number Q, we got, right, so we have, so the oxidation number of HGO is 0, and it goes to a, right, so it goes to, so HGO is 0, and it goes to Hg, which has the oxidation number of 0. Oxygen also has the oxidation number of 0, so there's no change. So the right answer is B. So number 18. Number 18. So which changes decrease the rate of reaction between magnesium and air? So the answer will be D. Because you're using a ribbon, so that will so a powdered magnesium will have a higher surface area, but this one you have a lower surface area. So the increase in surface area will speed up the reaction. Number 19, so most acidic, so that would be the lowest pH. So this one has the lowest pH, so lemon juice is the most acidic. So number 20, so you need to cross-check with your periodic table, and you find which elements is W, X, Y, and Z, and then you after you find out the elements. So Sb is the only element which does not form a basic oxide. So so the answer for this will be A. Okay, so number 21. So we have sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, copper, magnesium oxide, and zinc carbonate. So copper will not react with acid because copper is lower in metal activity series than the proton. So copper cannot react with acid. We know that magnesium oxide is basic, so it will react with both of the acid and give you two salts. And copper and zinc carbonate has a carbonate anion, which will react with the acid to give off carbon dioxide gas and two other salts. So you have two salts from magnesium oxide with two acids and two salts from zinc carbonate with two acids. So that would give you four salts in total. So the answer will be B. Number 22. Which one is soil neutral? So for neutral, substance, the pH is equal to 7. So that would give you B as the right answer. So the next question. Right, so a reaction between group 1 element and water generally is, so we represent group 1 element with M, and when it reacts with water, it gives you MOH plus hydrogen gas, and you need to balance it. So there is a 2 here, a 2 here, and 2 here, right? So and so that will give you metal. So that would be metal hydroxide. So it's either A or B. And we know that the reactivity of the group one metal, it increases down the group, so it is B, the right answer. So number 24. Right. So so catalyst is a property of the transition elements. So if we know is a catalyst, then we know that then it's suggesting that this element belongs to the transition block. However, colorless ion is not a unique property because, for example, sodium cation gives you a colorless solution. It does not have a color, but it's not a transition. It's not a transition element. So one suggesting is a transition element, but two doesn't. So the right answer is B. 25. So the inert gas we are looking for here is helium. So helium has a outer electron of 2, and it is a inert gas. So in inert gas, they exist as single atoms. So A is the right answer. Number 26. So from W to Z, so the most reactive will be violently. So that is a description of a very reactive reaction, and followed by vigorously, and then followed by slowly, and then the least reactive is there's no reaction at all. So it would be Z, W, Y, X. So the right answer is D. Okay, next question. So yeah, periodic table is used to predict the properties of elements. So obviously 27, the right answer is D. So periodic table is used to predict the chemical properties. Number 28. So which is not a property of aluminium. So that would be D as well, because aluminium is a very good heat conductor. Okay, so number 29. It should be copper, because copper is lower in metal activity series than the acid, so it cannot react with acid. Yeah, or water or steam. There's no reaction between copper and water, and for acid, it cannot react because it's lower in activity than the acid. Number 30. So yeah, so a hammer is least likely to contain aluminium because hammer is generally very heavy and very strong, which is not a property of the aluminium because aluminium is low in density. So it's very light, and if you think about your Coke cans, so aluminium is not a very strong metal, so it cannot be used as a hammer. Number 31. So rusting of the iron, it involves a reaction between iron and oxygen to give you iron oxide. So number 32. Right. So we are trying to obtain ammonium from ammonium sulfate. So ammonium sulfate contains ammonium ion, And if we use a base, a base will take off a proton from the ammonium ion and gives you NH3 as ammonium gas. So the right answer is B. Number 33. So we need to transfer the muddy river water to a drinking water. So the first step would be obviously to get rid of the mud. So we need to get rid of the soils. We do it by filtration. So A, C, D. And the next step, we need to do a chlorination to get rid of the bacteria or other microorganisms in the water, which will be harmful to us. So we need both the filtration and the chlorination. So the right answer is D. Number 34. So methane is not a liquid. So A is wrong. Methane is a gas. Number 35. So nitrogen is harmless. Both nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide are either harmful to the lungs or the blood system. So C and D are not the right answer. So the right answer is A, because lead compounds, they are very pollutant, but they are not harmful to the lungs or the blood system. Number 36. So the more items we have, the more heat, the more energy we release. So a methane has 5 items. Ethane has 6, and ethane has 8. So it increased from methane to ethane and to ethane. So the right answer is D. Number 37. So a hexane, hexane will be hex. It means that we have 6 carbon. So it's A or B. And ENE. Right, so all of them have 6 carbons. However, ENE, it represents a carbon-carbon double bond. So the right answer would be A, because C and D has other functional groups which are not included in the name. So C and D are not the right answer. And B does not have the carbon-carbon double bond. So A is the right answer. Number 38. So you have 3 repeating units in this structure. So we can immediately find out that 1 repeating unit is that. So in this repeating unit, we have only 1 chlorine atom. So the right answer would be B or C. But however, we know that for the polymerization of this polymer, we need to start from a monomer which contains a double bond. So C will be the right answer. Number 39. So B is not correct, because if you think about going from this molecule to the next one, so you are essentially adding a CH2 units instead of a CH3, because although you've added a CH3 unit here, but this carbon it loses 1 hydrogen, which offsets with the hydrogen you're adding. So overall, you are adding a CH2 units, not a CH3. So B is not correct. The last question. So the last question, the right answer is B, because so we are producing ethanol. So first of all, steam is water. So ethanol you are producing, and the catalyst it does not take part. So it does not. So it's unchanged before and after the reaction. Ethanol has two carbons, right? So a carbon dioxide has only one carbon, and those they don't have carbon at all. Only ethane has two carbons, and essentially you're adding a OH group and a proton to the two carbons, which gives you a ethanol molecule. So the right answer is B.